Hey guys, James here with MTech. I'm going to bring you into WordPress once again, and I'm going to show you something very simple, something that would be useful for most people who have a website and have a team of people that you want to bring into the website and allow them access. But yet maybe you don't want them to be an administrator, maybe you just want them to be a writer, somebody who contributes to a blog or that sort of thing. Showing you how to give people access and the different levels of access that you can give is just something that's really useful. So it's really easy. Let's go in and take a look. So as the topic of the day, we are looking at how to manage the users that are given access to your website. And you might want to give them different access levels. So as we're logged into WordPress here on the left, we can see that there's a tab called Users. And if we click on this, it is going to take us to the list of people who have access and roles within your website. Now, currently we only have one user in our website, and this is by default the account that created this website. So you can see this is an administrator. You can see the role that they have. You can see the email address attributed to this person. You can see the number of posts that they've made. If I click on posts, it's actually going to show me all the things that this user has published on the site. And that'll allow me to keep track of all the things that are being created and by whom. So that can be very valuable sometimes when you have multiple people on the team and you're wondering who is doing what and where's the content coming from. If I wanted to edit this particular user and change some information, so you noticed on the left menu we had the option for your profile. Well, that's what this is. If I click this, it's going to go into the profile of this particular user and it's going to show their username. You can create a first and last name for them. It's not required that they have that. They do require a nickname. And if I were to say create my name here as the first name, so when I publish a blog post and everyone can read it, and at the very bottom of the blog post, often you'll see a writer or the author of that post and some information pertaining to them. So that is what this means. It's displaying name publicly as James. Because I type James here, that shows up in this list. Otherwise, it's just going to show the nickname. So, you might want to have a system for how you present publicly what people will see when you post a blog article. And then there's other information about myself, and I can assign or change passwords right here. I can generate a new password, and then I can hit update. And you have to make sure you hit update when you make any change to this. If you don't hit update at the bottom, you're going to lose that change. So just a little bit of information about a profile. And really all these things should be set at the time when you create a new account. When you're creating a new account, it gives you all the things that we looked at under profile, your username, your email address. You want to make sure that it's a valid email address, and that person will receive the authentication or the validation email when you create this account. And you have the option to send a notification to a new user once you add them to the system, and that's, I think that's a good thing to do. Website, I don't think I've ever used this. I think maybe that again is a part of the bio that appears for an author. Generally, most people using this website will be part of the same organization, so it's somewhat not necessary. Like I said, I don't think I've ever filled this in. And then the last thing that's really important for you as you're assigning or creating a new profile or new people to contribute to the site is what their role is. And this is important because different roles allow people different levels of access. So the administrator predictably is the top level access. They're a person who is going to be able to access virtually any tool or setting within this WordPress website. So they'll be able to adjust the appearance of the site. They'll be able to moderate and manage other users and user accounts. They'll be able to change things like the settings and the tools. It's all-encompassing power over this website. So you want to make sure that the people who have that kind of access are vital to your company and they're trustworthy to manage the website. But there are instances where you just want people to contribute to the content of the site. And so you might want somebody who's an editor. An editor basically is somebody who can publish and manage content on the site. They will not be able to adjust any of the settings or the appearance or anything like that of the website itself, but they're there to create new pages, edit pages. They're there to also moderate what other people with lower access are writing and contributing. Whereas an author with a lower level of access is somebody who can publish and manage their own content. So they can write a blog article and they can choose to publish that blog article. But they cannot choose to edit something that somebody else is doing. So another author, they can't change what that person has written. And that's a good thing because they're responsible for their own contributions. A contributor, on the other hand, is somebody who they can write and manage their own posts. So they can write a blog article, but they cannot publish it. And a subscriber would be somebody who's a user of your website and you're allowing them to have privileged access. They maybe can comment on things, but they cannot contribute to the actual content of the website. So that's kind of the overview of the roles are for people who are part of your website. Once somebody is added to this, you'll see them as a member of the list. And so you'll see subscribers here, you'll see other administrators here. And if you do have a website where there's a lot of people subscribing, it can get kind of overwhelming. You might see hundreds of subscribers here. And so that's it. Thanks for listening, and I hope this is helpful to you.